The state was external to society and peripheral to its existence. However, under British rule, Indian society was fast losing its autonomy and vitality and was looking up to the state for all its problems. He wanted to reverse this social stagnation, and Srinaketan was the experiment he conducted to evolve a strategy of rural social transformation in India. It was not a centralized program, but a local intervention whereby Shantiniketan had to take up the task of rural reconstruction in the surrounding villages. And it was the guiding aim of this idea was to build what he called people's Atma Shakti, or self-empowerment. He was deeply critical of the complete isolation of the educated people from the rural masses. They got offered a new imaginary of social and political change in colonial India. It aimed at building the Atma Shakti of the people through cooperatives and by a revival of the spirit of community, a community where the individual is also free. At Srinaketan, he worked on a project of rural education combined with the development of rural crafts and industries. He also wanted the introduction of modern science to the improvement of agriculture and animal husbandry. Now I'll very briefly talk about Rabindranath's religion. To Rabindranath, his idea of religion was a personal quest for the infinite, whence God and man meet each other and achieve completion. It's when the self in the universe is at home. To him, religion is faith, philosophy, art and culture. It is not to be something to be separated from our secular world. It is a deep desire of the self and all others to unite. Self and God, self and society, self and nature. This union was celebrated as Ananda, as the beautiful and as true. His religion was deeply influenced by Indian philosophy, especially the Upanishads, by Buddhism, by Vaishnavism, by the Bauds of Bengal, and his own Protestant Brahmo background. Okay. And to him, the ultimate realization was when you could, where the self meets with the universe and with the infinite. This is the idea of ultimate realization. Finally, this is the last section. I will discuss the state of Shantiniketan today, and I will call it as a specimen for studying the life cycle of an Indian parasite. The Bengali leftist variant of post-colonial modernity has today consumed Shantiniketan and the utopian dreams of Rabindranath. From a cosmopolitan pilgrimage, it has turned into a minor regional tourist distraction, complete with commerce and sleaze, and an occasional Kobiguru motor rally named after Rabindranath. From a global university, it now draws most of its commuting students from Gushkara to Rampurhat in the Bardhaman division of the Indian Railways. From a meeting place of minds and ideas and cultures, it has become a stagnant pool in the backwaters of Bengal, where the local community congregates to slander and share the spoils of a centrally funded university. The utopian space of Shantiniketan has been marauded by the architectural imagination of the PWD and the left-front government's dream of building and administering a modern university town with its retinue of petty land sharks and entertainment parks. An aesthetic and spiritual way of life has been transformed into frozen rituals and meaningless mantras, preparing students to become local schoolmasters and desirable brides for the upwardly mobile rural middle classes ensconced in the panchayats and Communist Party politics. Meanwhile, some clever inmates quickly robbed some of its art treasures, including some of Rabindranath's manuscripts and the Nobel medal which he got. These were perhaps the only things of value still surviving in Shantiniketan. Odum Majumdar, a former teacher of Vishwabharati, has described the decay of Shantiniketan in terms of the rise and takeover by the job-seeking leftish Bengali middle class. The radical sections were more interested in after independence in agitational politics to prepare for the revolution, and none had any interest in Rabindranath's imaginary of social transformation. I think that today Shantiniketan can best be described as a perfect specimen for the study of the life cycle of an Indian, or if you will, Bengali parasite. Tagore's philosophy of education aimed at making a new person. Thus he set up a complete educational institution from a preschool to a global university. Today, students in this school Now, right from the preschool level, the teachers and employees of Vishwabharati have established a monopolistic right to admissions. Their own children study there and they have admission quotas. Admission quotas guarantee that bulk of the students are wards of employees and teachers, and most of the rest are manipulated. Once admitted, these students pursuing the principle of quotas get guaranteed admission in the next higher stage of learning, from school to undergraduate level to postgraduate level. Armed with these degrees and supported by their kins in office, they manage to get most of the jobs offered by the university, teaching, non-teaching. Those not sufficiently smart engage themselves in local commerce, made profitable by tourists, or become contractors and suppliers. Thanks to Rabindranath, Shantiniketan still holds on to its legacy of love and romance. Most of these students find their love here itself and marry here. As we saw earlier, they find jobs here, and now their children are admitted to the preschool of Vishwabharati, and the cycle continues unabated. Left-wing trade union politics among teachers, students, and staff